toxic. I am not overly sensitive. I am not overly aggressive. I'm exactly who I should be.
Right now, we are collectively closing out a 30 years old long cycle. And what I mean by that is, it's a 30 years old karmic cycle where deconstruction is taking place. And deconstruction and alignment can sometimes look like the total destruction of everything and anything you believed is real and important for you. It can be a relationship, it can be your social status, it can be the work that you do, it can be where you live, it can be like unhealthy or healthy habits. It can be everything that you believed, this is you, this is your identity. And I personally believe that we came here on this earth to learn to expand, to really learn to integrate self-love, accept self-love, accept the love of ourselves into our being. And sometimes everyone else or anything what doesn't fit into your path needs to go. You learned your lesson. And sometimes the people here who bring you the most hurt or most pain or whatsoever, who make you really tear up and frustrate you, they give you the biggest gift on this planet. And this is your internal freedom. Some losses set us free. And this sentence holds so much truth in it that I want you to understand, to thank them, to not hold crutches to anything, because it will just be holding yourself back from really moving forward. Love does not hurt you. The absence of your self-love did. And now it's your time to really bring back the love and the power, the feeling of worthiness into your own being, and don't try to find it in the external. Find it in the internal and then broadcast it out into the external world. When we find alignment within ourselves, and what I mean by that is when we find out what our heart and our mind need in order to be really co-creating together and to be in alignment and not oh, my heart wants this, but my mind wants this. And you see this whole chaotic thing because deep down, you're just really not fulfilled. Deep down, you're bumping into relationships that just don't fuel your soul because deep down, it's not your highest path. It's not your soul core values. It's something superficial. It's something that you created in order to keep you safe, in order to keep your mind and your ego safe. Because on one point in your history, and one point in your life, there was something or someone who couldn't love you the way you deserve to be loved. And sometimes this is the grief that we experience when we lose someone or something, what is very dear to our heart. But this pain that we feel is actually the pain that we never ever released back then, that we just suppressed, pushed away, denied, and put it into our subconsciousness. So now when you having the feeling you're releasing a lot of emotions, or when you have the feeling of you need to cry or suppress it with anger or being depressed, because depression is nothing else than anger turned inward, be with this feeling. And I said it also before in the podcast clip. if you don't know how to be with this feeling, you need to ask for help, because only when you shed away those layers and those feelings, only then can you feel complete free. And when something happened, or when something will happen again, because this is life, this is duality, and we are so afraid on one point to laugh again because we associate the feeling of love with the feeling of loss. So we're so afraid of losing someone and needing to deal with the same feeling, with this devastating feeling that we had when we lost someone, a relationship or a very dear person to our heart, that we close ourselves off from love. But love is not what hurts us. It's the pain that we never ever dealt with in the first place. So we need to deal with our pain. Wherever it comes from, wherever it's stored in our body, we need to deal with it, because sooner or later, the pain or the resolution of the pain will come back into your life. And it will manifest in feeling unfulfilled, will manifest in meeting partners or situations that are just not for your highest soul, that you feel very drained, very bored, being in a very uncomfortable situation, needing to deal with work things that you just need to get over with, and then in the weekend you get yourself super fucked up and you're just living for the weekend and to dance and to take drugs or whatsoever. I understand you. But life can be very magnificent, and life is magical, and you are magical, and you are magnificent, and you are powerful, and you are enough, and you are lovable, and you are everything what this entire world can offer, because you are love. And it's your time to remember it. It's your time to go inward and to hold space for yourself and to acknowledge it and to accept it. Because these are two different kinds of shoes.